We all have that one friend who, their entire personality is based off of what's popular at the moment, right? They were really into run clubs that one summer, but now they wouldn't be caught dead in a run club because run clubs are corny now, so instead they got into DJing. In the brand design world, this is WeightWatchers. Right before 2025 ended, they snuck in this massive rebrand, their second one in 10 years, their third in about 2 decades, and we have to talk about why this keeps happening with them. I want to get into the reality of this new look, why they've rebranded yet again, and the massive disconnect between a fresh face and a shifting industry. But before we get into it, I'm Ziggy the Designer. I'm a graphic designer who's worked alongside some of the world's most recognizable brands, including United Airlines, Target, and Stanford University. If you like the conversations we're having on this channel, be sure to support the show by giving this episode a like, leaving a comment down below, and of course by hitting that subscribe button. Let's get into it. Design is all around us, so let's talk about it. So if you don't know WeightWatchers, they are a 60-year-old weight loss empire that's built on 2 things. Number 1, it's points, and number 2 is community. So instead of traditional calorie counting, you get a daily points budget through their system. More nutritious foods cost fewer points and less nutritious foods cost more. At its core, it's pretty much gamified calorie counting. They're also famous for their workshops, right? These are real world support groups where people meet up to hold each other accountable. For decades, they were the sensible brand for long-term health. And for the second time in 10 years, they've rebranded themselves. So let's take a look at what we're actually working with. Technically speaking, there's a lot to like here. The standout is the new logo. It's 2 bold W's separated by a horizontal line. Now, at first glance, I thought this was a dumbbell. I mean, I think it looks like a dumbbell, but you know what? It's wrong, right? I was wrong in thinking that. It's actually a progress bar. It's a literal nod to a digital UI element in their toolkit meant to represent the member's journey. And personally, I love a visual double entendre, whether it's a progress bar or a dumbbell. I'm a fan of it, right? That might not be what they intended, but this is what I'm calling it, right? We're going to call it a visual double entendre. They've leaned into a bold, rich blue that brings in a ton of energy, and the typography, it is sound, right? The fundamentals are right here. It's a clean, tall sans serif that feels big and intentional. You'll find this paired with these high-end black and white editorial portraits of real members. It's very bold, very inspiring, very, raw, emotional type of stuff. The whole brand world feels like it's living in the 2020s now. It's high contrast, it inspires action, it's a confident lockup that feels premium. But as we know, a rebrand is about more than just a logo. It's about how a brand lives in the world. So why rebrand? Right? Why do this now? Well, look, it's no secret that the weight loss industry is under a microscope right now. We're living in the peak era of GLP-1 medications. Think Ozempic and Wegovy, right? These are the health trends of the moment. And WeightWatchers is desperately trying to pivot their identity to meet that clinical shift. They're launching WeightWatchers Med Plus and trying to look like a modern medical partner, not just a points tracking app that your mom's best friend used. And look, I get it, right? I do, right? I get the business logic behind this, but I'm going to be real with you. A move like this frustrates me. The logo, the brand visuals, they're fine, right? Technically speaking, as we said before, it's good design, but here's what I want you to look at. Think back to 2018. That was their last rebrand, less than 10 years ago, which in the world of brand design, it's a pretty short period of time. They rebranded to WW because wellness was the big buzzword at the time. They stripped their name and entire identity to fit the late 2010s holistic health trend. Fast forward to today, that wellness pivot is dead. Nobody really talks about wellness and holistic health anymore. Now they've brought back the full name of WeightWatchers with this action-oriented look because medical weight loss is what's trending. Now it's one thing to pivot your entire brand, your entire product strategy to fit how the industry has changed. I'll let it pass one time, but to do it again, In less than 10 years, that's when people start to notice patterns. That's when people start to ask if Weight Watchers really has a method for weight loss, or if they're going to try to sell you whatever is popular at the moment. First, it was calorie counting, then it was wellness, and now it's medical weight loss. Visually speaking, yes, this is the quintessential 2010 style, right? There's nothing wrong with it. I think it looks good. I'm telling you now, though, in 2 or 3 years, this style, this look is going to look dead. It's going to look outdated. But the bigger issue here isn't about what the visuals look like. It's that GLP-1s, much like the whole wellness and holistic health thing, that's also going to become outdated. They're massive health trends right now, but eventually the public sentiment is going to shift and a different health craze will take over. And when that happens, it will not surprise me if Weight Watchers goes right back to the drawing board, because right now they're treating their branding like it's disposable, right? Change your brand to fit the industry trends once, fine, but to do it twice in less than a decade, I'm going to call that a pattern. I'm calling it how I see it. It looks like a pattern to me. Look at the strongest brands in the marketplace right now, right? Apple has been running with essentially the same brand identity since the late 2000s. And despite all of the changes in the world of tech, thinking of the smartphone wars, the introduction of tablets, mixed reality, artificial intelligence, right? Despite all of that, we still know Apple as the brand that is clean, well-crafted, and premium. Or how about a brand that's the total opposite of Weight Watchers, right? How about McDonald's? They've been running the same logo, the same fonts, the same colors since longer than I've been alive. But with all of the challenges thrown at fast food, I can't count how much bad press McDonald's has gotten in my lifetime. We still know and love the Golden Arches. Their brand still sparks a certain type of joy with food. Weight Watchers, on the other hand, one of the foremost brands in their industry, has essentially portrayed itself as 3 different brands since the 2010s. A rebrand should be a North Star for a company. For Weight Watchers, branding is just a band-aid they swap out every time the industry decides to change its mind. But what do you think? Is this a smart reset for the medical era, or are they just coasting on trends? Do you think a brand can ever be timeless if it's dependent on what's trending in the world of pharmacy? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe. Let's keep this conversation going. I've been Ziggy the Designer. If there are 2 things you need to know about me, it's that 1, I love graphic design, and 2, I'm very opinionated. I'll talk with y'all later. Bye-bye.